Hi. Today I am gonna do a video here on my Vevor lathe that I got. It is a YZ210D. What that means is that the bed from here down to here is 38 inches, 32 inches between the centers. I did an uncrating of this, or not uncrating, yeah, basically, whatever. But let's go through this so I get everything in here that was up with this lathe. The biggest thing was the ways right here. As you will see, I had to re-scrape these because you see down here, you see how thin it is right here, this surface? This is the surface your slide runs on. Had a big burr right here, and it was riding on that burr, not this flat, so I had to re-scrape this whole bed down. You can see how thin it is here? I didn't do this section here, but I picked it up right here. This thing would not travel. It would get stuck in spots, and it was all jacked up. And then when you would push down on this would all rock like this. So I tried to adjust it. There was no adjustment screws in these gibs here. And you'll see this gib right here. This gib right here. You'll see that it's notched. It goes over and then it goes up because this was too low. And this would even tighten all the way. There still was a space under here. So this thing would rock. So I had to take that out and recut that. Like I said, there was no adjustment screws. You have to pick up some M6 1.0, about 18 millimeter, works great. The other thing is, if you take this guard off, if you don't have this in this orientation, you try to turn this on, that's all you get, and it'll keep shutting off. You have to keep that rotated this way. Then when you turn it on, it'll stay running like that. The other issue with mine is it's supposed to be 0 to 1250. You see, even with it all the way down, it keeps rotating. Over here, this lead screw down here is too far that way. There's not enough adjustment on this arm here to get your gears over in line with this right here. As you see on mine, I have a wedge in there, but I plan on ovaling out these bolts, holes, and moving this way. Oh, and by the way, on this end, the top screw was good, the bottom screw was totally stripped. I had to redo them threads right there. The compound that's on it, you got to take it off because you ain't cutting any steel with that thing on there. You got to make a tool post. I just made mine round because I don't have a milling machine. So what else? Oh, to adjust these belts. Well, as of right now, I've used this lathe. There's a bearing in here. This bearing is shot. It's clicking real loud. I'm gonna have to get a new bearing, maybe ream that out, and put in maybe a little oversized bearing because this thing's clicking already. To adjust this here, believe it or not, you have to take this back cover off, your electrical cover, and that's where the bolt that travels through here is inside there. So you have to take this all apart to adjust these belts, which thank God that you don't have to do all the time. This guard, you'll see I extended this guard back 7 inches because when the guard's on there from the factory, you could only get your hand in that far. You can't adjust this gib back here. You have to take it off, keep taking it off. Let alone that everything got 600 sanded or stoned. I mean, this all runs real smooth now. Didn't run like that when I first got it. The tailstock, It's the only good thing. This thing works the way it should. I mean, it really does. It runs good. I didn't have to mess with that way at all. That thing was good and ground nice from the factory, so everything was good with that. What else about this thing? Oh, this here, the play in this thing is horrendous, and the travel is too much. I mean, you see how far you travel one turn. I'm going to put a gear reduction on that, bring this handle out here, which is going to help me anyway, because I'm going to bring this handle out here on a bracket, because your knuckles hit this knob here. Nothing you can do about it. I have a bearing coming. I've worked on this and polished this thing up the best I could. Get this out of here. Hope you could hear that. This direction, you can't get that out of there. That bolt is in all the way, and it just, that is part of this adjustment here with a little pinion inside here. But I have bearings coming for that. I'm going to fix that up. I do want to say that the reason I bought a new lathe is because I didn't want to have to buy an old lathe and go through all this stuff. I looked at South Bend Heavy 10s, which I'm not comparing it to that, but you know, I don't have anybody really here to help me get it in, get it out. Those things are a liability to move around. What you want to do is, this helps. There's no cross slide, power cross slide. Make yourself one of these right here. This is just Delrin, and this is one of those 1/2-inch chuck things that fit in a drill. It goes right on there. You put the, here, this is a gyroscopic screwdriver. You just turn it one way, it goes one way, turn it the other way, it goes the other way. This really helps you out. In and out. That's it. If you're going to thread on this thing, I made a threader, as you can see right here. I made a couple of them. That's for a tap. This one's for a die. But what I found out is this thing has a 1 1/8 motor, 850 watts. I think it works a little over a horsepower. The motor will keep turning. The motor has enough ass. You just can't get the rubber to the road up here. You start tapping something, this will stop. These belts will slip right here. Did I tell you about this? This has to be in that direction. I think I did already. My overall view of this lathe, I mean, it is serviceable. I mean, you can make it better. You can get all kind of accessories, which is nice. Collets, stuff like that. Allura's toll post. You'll see this toll post is an AXA. It's a little big for this, but I made this, intentionally got this one and made this 3/16 shorter than the original mess that was here. You could get 4-jaw chucks. You could get a collet chucks. Oh, I made a spider. That's the first thing I made. Right there. Just goes right over the nut, clamps to the nut. And I could cut their crown barrels or whatever I want to do with that. All in all, I mean, I can make this a good machine, and I am making it a good machine. Oh, and by the way, we're getting near the 10-minute mark. I don't want to go over. You're never going to want to go to 100, 250. This thing vibrates at about 900. That's about as fast as I'll go with it, but I don't think I need to go any faster than that. If you got the knowledge to scrape the bed and do everything like that, feel free to buy this lathe. Am I bashing it? Yes, I am. But I can make it work. I bought it. My problem, I bought it. But if I'd known I would have to go through all this stuff, I would have bought a used American lathe that needed a bunch of work. That's about it for the VEVOR lathe. Thanks for watching the video.